Okay, so I talk a lot more than this camera will record, so I gotta try to be aware of that. So this is part two. I was describing the hepatopulmonary syndrome. So the blood goes through your veins into your heart, and it brings in the carbon dioxide blood. It travels through your heart into your lungs, where it becomes oxygenated, and it goes back through your body in a cycle. And before it goes up into the heart, it passes through the liver. And so my oxygenated blood is going down into my body, but on the way back up, when it gets to the liver, it's not getting through those walls properly because I have diseased liver. And for those curious about my liver, it is technically cirrhosis. There are 4 stages of liver disease, and I'm in the end stage, which is cirrhosis. But within that last stage, there are 4 subcategories of just how bad you are, where it goes from number 1 to 4, and number 1 is you have a diseased liver, but your numbers are good, you're taking care of yourself as best as you can, and your liver's not getting worse, or it's very gradual. And then stage 4 would be if you don't get a liver right now, you're going to die. And I'm at about 1.5. And so that's why I was meeting with the transplant team, because it's a little bit of irony, that lovely little cycle. If I got a transplant and got a new healthy liver, no one would have any problem giving me the bypass surgery. But because my liver is so good, all my bilirubin, my liver function, everything is good, albumin or something like that, no one's going to consider even putting me on the list for a transplant. So it's another one of those catch-22s. But anyway, so the oxygenated blood has to get, or it's becoming dioxide blood by this point, get back through the liver and up into your heart for the cycle. And it's not getting up there properly, and there's a shunt where the blood is sneaking through that back into the oxygenated blood, and so it's diluting the oxygen in my blood. So when they came and did rehabilitation earlier, they wanted to find out if my oxygen levels are dropping. So, like, as you can hear, I'm out of breath just talking. I'm having breathing issues. But even getting up, walking around, and moving, even though I'm out of breath and I have to sit down, my oxygen levels are staying good. So that's a really good sign. So we talked about all the different risk things, like anesthesia. I have never had a problem with anesthesia. We talked about just different factors and things like that. And the transplant team, see, the one gastric bypass surgeon had said it's a flatline rate of 30% you won't live through surgery. And I thought those odds were too great at that time. But the doctor at the transplant center said, no, there's an actual test where we can put in your numbers and give you an actual percentage of what your mortality rate is in surgery. And when she put my numbers in, I had only a 4% chance of dying. And all the things that he had mentioned, like my liver being too stressed and shutting down and things, she said none of those are issues. Even though I'm having, my liver is supposed to, what goes through my liver comes from my spleen into my liver, and then it's supposed to go on. Well, I'm having spillage. It's coming back into my spleen. So both my liver and my spleen are enlarged. But all these different options or things that could be a problem, the only thing she's really worried about is blood flow, because things are spilling backwards if my liver is blocking the good blood. I'm sorry, I just got tired. I don't know if I said it already, but I'm still going on less than 2 hours sleep and over 100 hours. So anyway, but he came and he told me all these things I never knew, and he gave me hope, because he said, you know, some doctors are just risk weary, but there's like a specialist team in Texas where they only take 900 pound patients, and every one of them have liver problems, and I'm nothing compared to the problems they have, and they have great success rates. And he agreed. I'm like the other doctor said, he said just that little bit that he talked to me, I'm not going to be one of those people who cheat and try to sneak things in. You can tell how committed I am to making this happen. And so I'm actually, for the first time, feeling like I have a shot of getting healthy and living like a 35-year-old and dancing with my husband and running and playing with my son and jumping on the trampoline with him and walking through the store instead of having to be in a wheelchair. I could live like a 35-year-old again. And I'm so excited about that. And here they're keeping me. And it's a pain that I know I'm going to be here again tomorrow. But they're doing all these tests, and they're ruling out everything so they can find out exactly what's wrong. And I've never felt this taken care of before. And is that my phone? Yes, I have to go.